This video is going to show you how to use the library resources, the library collection, to find information that will help you move towards your position synthesis. And of course, the step on the way there is the annotated bibliography. So finding sources that you will be writing about in that annotated bibliography is what we're thinking about right now. So depending on your topic, you may not, well, I think most of you will be able to find research and sources to use for this project that we're engaged in now through the library. Google, I'm not saying not to use Google or Google Scholar, but the library has paid for a lot of the things you would even find through Google Scholar but not be able to see. And many of you may already know this, but I just want to run through this because we have actually got a new search engine running. So whenever you're in Canvas, you always have this tab up here, Student Resources. Come down to Library Resources. And what they have here, these are the different things you can use, the catalog, books, databases. We're going to look at just a couple of those. But this is the new tool that the library has now called OneSearch, and it will let you search everything that the library owns. Now, I have found in doing this that there are still a need to use a couple of other databases here because this searches so much and provides so many sources that you sometimes need to look at other things and find other ways of searching. But it's a really great place to start. So it has this. So I'm on this first tab, OneSearch. Let's say that you've thought, I'm interested in the topic of autism. I'm not really sure what I want to write about. And so when I say using research for invention, this is using research to help you narrow down your topic or decide what's going to be a good question to pursue, because as I've indicated, you need to have a real question to ask here, and you need to not have thoroughly made up your mind on it. So let's just say we're going to start with a broad topic like autism. Now, I'm not sure if this will work because it wasn't working great yesterday, but I'm going to say that I only want to see full text. That is, I only want to see things that are available to me online in full text. Okay, so if I go ahead and search on that, I get this kind of amazing result list. Almost 300,000 hits. That's a huge amount of information, and this is after limiting to what we have available. So this is interesting. This particular topic has a research starter, so this might let you learn a little bit in general about autism and help you decide maybe what you're interested in. It has things like definition, causes. It says causes unknown, symptoms, duration, etc. This is a good reason not to just stop with this. Interestingly enough, it will also read to you, and you can tell it to read it to you in an Australian or British accent. So you can have some fun with that. I'm going to go back now. I'm just going to note that if I just start coming down through here and read a few titles, education and therapeutic approaches. Okay, so I might be interested in therapy. Here's a reference handbook. We can see full texts of books through this tool too, which is really amazing and especially helpful to people who are never on campus and can't use books. And furthermore, our library doesn't have a ton of books, but using this we have access to ebooks. It's an amazing thing. You can read the whole thing. Now, I'm not saying you would read a whole book necessarily at all, but you would maybe use a chapter or a section for one of your sources that you're going to annotate. If I come down a little bit further, nursing. Oh, here's an interesting one. There's actually a video that I can watch online. It says diagnosis, causes, and treatments. Maybe that's what I'm interested in. I might be interested in this. I might be interested in this. So let's say that I decide, well, I'm interested in causes now. So I'm going to put autism causes in. Still have 102,798 sources, but causes and risks for autism is one of the first things that comes up. It's a book. Notice that it was published in 2009 here. Now, one thing you can do, especially if it's important to find the most current information, you can switch this from searching for relevance to searching by newest date, and that gives you the most recent information. Don't know if it's going to oh, it's going to maybe take its time because this is a huge list. So maybe I won't worry too much. Oh, it did do it. Now I've got the most recent thing published here is April 2014. That's upcoming, okay, but still available. This shows you that it's an academic journal. That means it may be a little bit more difficult to read, but it's going to be peer-reviewed generally. People have looked at it, have decided whether or not it should be published in their journal. It's been sent out to reviewers who are experts in the field, and so people have already done some vetting of the source, helping you have more trust in it as a good, thorough, credible source. Okay. Now this tells you that it's in a periodical. This one happens to be in Essence, which is a Time publication. A periodical is generally a little bit easier to read. Magazine, periodical. Let's see if I can find another. Okay, that's their common icon. I guess let me just show you one thing. Once you click on one of these sources, you can read a little abstract that tells you about it. Okay, I'm going to go back because that's not a particularly long one. And one thing I'm going to do before I take this next step is I'm going to say, wow, I've got 102,000 results. Maybe I'm going to get a better result here if I do causes of autism, and I put it in quotes. Then it's going to have to find exactly those words in that order. So that can sometimes be too limiting, but it also can sometimes be really helpful. That cut it down considerably to 3,000 sources. All right. Now, one other thing that I might do is I might come over here and use this little subject heading that helps me see how they categorize it, and it shows me more. Causes of autism is not one of the ways that the database creators and catalogers actually organize their material, but I can look at the thing that they do, and for the subject terms they use. And the fourth one here is research, and that's where I think, well, people are probably looking for research on this issue. So I could click that off and know that I'm going to get 199 sources. I'll try that, but I could try that, but I'm not going to right now. You could try that particular thing. You just, again, under subject. But what I wanted to do here, now that I've got this shortened a little bit, all right, is I want to find a source that might, autism spectrum disorder, flea and tick medication. Interesting. Could that be a cause? Autism and vitamin D. Well, that's interesting. Introductory awareness of autism spectrum conditions. I'm going to just keep looking for a minute here. Let's see, I'm going to get away. I've got this sorted this way. I'm going to go back to relevance because I want to find okay, there's one right there, causes and risks for autism. And now this, even new genetic causes of autism. I wanted to show you this. Three studies compared genomes and families. So this can help you decide, am I interested? Oh, it's in Time magazine. It's going to be pretty readable. Here it is. Not very long, all right, but at least it might give me an idea about one thing to think about, genetics. Now another thing I wanted to show you specifically about using this kind of research that is just wonderful. You can add this to your folder to come back to later before you leave the search engine. You can email the citation to yourself. All right, just come in here, email it. Give yourself a reminder, genes and autism, send it off. And then you have it permanently. Okay, now here's the beauty thing here for me. This will cite for you. So you open this click on this little citation over here, scroll down, okay, and there it is, done in MLA format. So here I'd come in here and I would, I don't know, it's not letting me, I'm having a hard time just copying that, but let's say I just get that copied. I would copy that, paste it in a new document. It isn't going to be formatted right, but you now have your video on how to do that. So there is an exact exact citation, including the date that's on it and the date you got it, because it's picking up your computer's dating information. So that's wonderful, and I'll just point out for you in other courses, it shows you how, if you were using APA, it has other ways of citing. So that's a great tool here. Okay, so there is, sorry, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to go back to this. Okay, so if I go back to here, my sources again, now if I look on this source one more time, I go back to this, and I look down here. Have they done it? Subject terms, okay? This is, again, the information that's being used by the database creators, and generally these come from the Library of Congress. These are the ways they organize material for searching, and it's not always the way we would organize it, because I would have thought there might have been something more like this, causes and theories of causation, but that's a general diseases. All right, but I can try this one, autism, etiology. Etiology means the cause. We're looking for the cause and sources. So now I have a search term to use that should take me, okay, to even, okay, 151. Okay, what are the causes? Asking for an outbreak. These look to be a variety of periodicals and academic journals, magazines, and more scholarly publications. The brain, credibility battles in the autism litigation, lack of eye contact. I'm not absolutely certain. Decoding autism, that sounds interesting. In any case, this is giving you a variety of ways to search, and I'm trying to focus on those subject headings. I'm going to do one other kind of search here now, so I'm going to go back to the library, and what I'm suggesting is you can just do a little looking through these kinds of abstracts even without necessarily reading a full article, and that can give you a way to start thinking about different views on the topic that you're interested in pursuing at this point. Now if I go back to the general library and I click here on databases, the one I'm going to show you in this case is SIRS, Social Issues Research. You may have used this before. SIRS Researcher. Click on the blue arrow. Hope that okay, not too slow. All right, it's going to do a keyword search you can hear over here. Subject headings gives you the way they use it, but that's usually a harder way to start. So I'm going to do the same thing here. Causes of autism. Now, this shows you the kinds of sources. I got 150 newspapers, 98 magazines, 5 reference. First thing here is The Secrets of Autism in Time magazine. So it's going to pull up slightly different things than the other source pulled up. Okay, so that's one good reason to use it. All right, I'm going to click down through here. I'm going to say, I wonder if I need to narrow my results a little bit more. So now I'm going to put that in quotes again. And now search again. Okay. Case may lead to further suits linking autism and vaccines. Now I'm aware of what some debate that's been going on over the years about autism and vaccinations. That research or that initial scare thing about vaccinations has been fully addressed at this point. But the reason I wanted to come here is I wanted to show you that their subject headings in SIRS, created by their database people, are a little bit different. So here you can see, if you say, okay, yeah, vaccination, I know that's one thing people have thought in the past has caused this. Come down and look at these subject terms. Vaccination, maybe I don't want all that general stuff, but now I see I've got this kind of amazing one here. Autism, causes and theories of causation. Okay, so that's maybe really going to help me because this database has indexed this in this particular way. So if I now use that subject, I'm down to 1 magazine, 18 newspaper. Newspapers are going to be short, but again, if I'm just thinking of this as I'm looking for information to help me get started, now I see some really strange and interesting things. Inducing labor may be tied to autism, study says. Okay, this is a study that's really recent, August 12, 2013. All right. So here's another one, autism linked to environmental factors. I'll just show you very quickly that these also have Summaries, well, does this one, it has a summary here that you can read. It'll take you to the direct article, and it also has the citation. There it is, MLA. It's even in a format, I don't know when you cut and paste if it will stay. But that's it.